WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Poole. CBS News projects Joe Biden has won the presidential election, defeating President Donald Trump after a first term marked by a global pandemic, a battered economy, and controversy that left the nation divided. Following more than 3 days of uncertainty after Election Day, Pennsylvania's 20 electoral votes propelled the Democratic ticket above the 270 threshold needed to win the White House. CBS News correspondent Michael George is in the president-elect's hometown in Wilmington, Delaware with the latest.
Across the nation, thousands celebrated the news.
Oh my goodness, I was so excited to find out that Joe Biden is our 46th president.
After Joe Biden became the projected winner of the 2020 presidential election on Saturday, Vice President-elect Kamala Harris made this historic phone call.
We did it, Joe. You're going to be the next president of the United States.
And the president-elect released a statement saying, "I am honored and humbled by the trust the American people have placed in me and in Vice President-elect Harris." At 77, Biden becomes the first to defeat a sitting president in more than a quarter century. And Harris is the first woman and person of color to win the vice presidency. The decisive blow to President Trump comes as he cites baseless and unsubstantiated allegations of election fraud. He's vowing to wage a legal battle.
These lawsuits will be brought starting on Monday.
The president golfed in Virginia Saturday and tweeted, "I won this election by a lot." Supporters of President Trump rallied in several cities, including Atlanta and in Lansing, Michigan.
Here in President-elect Biden's hometown of Wilmington, Delaware, hundreds of people have been celebrating in the streets for hours. Many told us they've never felt prouder of their country.
Everyone is in a good mood. We're all ready to move on.
As ballot counting continues, President-elect Biden is leading in the popular vote by more than 4 million. Michael George, CBS News, Wilmington, Delaware.
And President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris are scheduled to address the nation at 7 p.m. coming up on CBS.
Mostly quiet weather across North Mississippi and West Alabama right now. There are a few areas of very light sprinkles out there. One of them I've been watching just in northern Lowndes County. Really not enough to amount to anything, but you might have to swipe your windshield with those wipers just a couple of times if you're going to be out and about tonight. Right now in Columbus, it's pretty comfortable. We're 68 degrees as of about 6:30. Partly cloudy skies. That continues overnight tonight. A few clouds may be building in here overnight, but in general, temperatures are going to remain in the low and mid 60s tonight. And if you like these warmer temperatures, you're going to like what's coming up because we are going to stay above normal for the next several days. Highs are going to remain in the mid to upper 70s at least through next weekend. Our average is 68, so a little taste of late summer here in the middle of fall. I've got to look at your 7-day forecast, which does include some rain chances coming up in just a bit. Stephanie?
The number of new COVID-19 cases in the state remains high. The State Department of Health is reporting 1,031 new cases today and 15 deaths. In our area, Lee County is reporting the most new cases with 51. Union has 21. Lafayette has 19 new cases. And Itawamba and Pontotoc are both reporting 14 new cases each. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is stepping up National Guard presence at his state's airports. It comes as the U.S. set a record for new COVID-19 infections for a third straight day. Tom Hansen reports on the growing concerns of this surge in cases.
A massive wave of COVID-19 continues to wash over America, with hotspots now stretching from the heartland into the West.
I'm not going to mince any words here when it comes to the spread of the coronavirus. We're on a very dangerous path.
Denver Mayor Michael Hancock says hospitalizations in his city have jumped 40% in the last week alone. His home by 10 curfew will go into effect Sunday, with more severe options looming.
There's another stay-at-home order in our future unless we act with urgency and care for one another to change the behavior that is leading to these increasing cases.
In Oregon, Governor Kate Brown has ordered a 2-week pause on social activities in counties with high caseloads.
Please, please, please limit your social interactions to your own household. For those of you who have scheduled events with other people for the coming weekend, please cancel them. We need your help.
Stronger measures are already taking effect across Europe. Luxury department stores in Milan closed Friday in a partial lockdown, while drivers in Athens rushed home in advance of Greece's 3-week lockdown.
Are you getting towards feeling that you need to advocate for the kinds of national lockdowns that we're seeing across the UK and Europe now, or do you think the US isn't in that place?
No, we're not in that place now.
In a virtual interview Friday with the Oxford Union Debate Society in England, Dr. Anthony Fauci acknowledged there's little appetite for similar stay-at-home orders in the U.S. Fauci reiterated the need to wear masks and socially distance and said a vaccine could be available as early as next month.
I don't like overconfidence, but I can tell you that I'm cautiously optimistic that a vaccine is going to take us out of this very difficult position.
For CBS This Morning Saturday, Tom Hansen, New York.
Itawamba County residents are enjoying the opportunity to shop and dine in one handy location this weekend. WCBI's Chad Groening has more.
Main Street in front of the Itawamba County Courthouse was closed off, so area merchants could set up booths or open their doors for the annual Fulton Jingle and Mingle. Juanita Martin is executive director of the Itawamba County Development Council, which puts on the annual event.
So the idea behind the Fulton Jingle and Mingle event is to bring vendors to Main Street so people can shop and walk at the same time, going from vendor to vendor, store to store, encouraging them to visit with our businesses that are here in downtown and all around Fulton.
One of the vendors that set up this weekend was Jason Beecham, owner-operator of Guy's Place, which features dining on the water.
Anytime that we can come out and support our community, show up for our community, and lend a hand or get words out about other businesses, we're eager to help. So it doesn't matter if we sell anything down here, just as long as we make a presence and we show support and solidarity to everybody. It's good for us, it's good for the community.
Another popular vendor was Lee Trammell, who owns Do Right Barbecue in Peppertown. He bought a food truck earlier this year.
I think it's a really good thing for small businesses right now with the way things have been going, and it's helping us. It's been a great thing for us so far. We just love serving people our food and watch them enjoy eating it, and it's just, I guess we get more enjoyment out of it than the people eating it because we just love being around people.
And business was brisk at the Square Gift Company. Keely McMillan is one of its owners.
We're super thankful for everyone who's chosen to shop local this Christmas. It's important to shop local, to shop small businesses such like us. We depend on it, so we're very thankful. We thank the city, ICDC, the Fulton Business Volunteers. They've all come together so we have a successful weekend. So we're excited about it.
Here in Fulton, like every other small town in Mississippi and across the country, small businesses had to adapt when the COVID-19 pandemic hit. But adapt they did, and now things are looking very good here.
Our businesses have thrived through COVID, and we thank all of the locals that have come out and supported them.
Martin says they actually had an increase of over 17% in tax revenue in the city of Fulton from March to August this year compared to that same time last year. Chad Groening, WCBI News, Fulton.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas in downtown West Point. Pedal Pushers is hosting a Christmas open house running through Monday. Customers can start checking off their holiday shopping list with a selection of decor and retail. Friday, store owner Scott Reed held a private opening for Lila Ussery. With so much uncertainty during the pandemic, Reed says this served as a great opportunity to spend time with loved ones.
Very Christmassy, very seasonal.
We try to make it interactive, make it fun for everybody. Of course, we have refreshments and door prizes and all kinds of different things, and there will be a lot of different stores downtown doing the same thing over the next few days, so it's really a great time to come out and visit with everyone and get in the Christmas spirit.
And this open house will continue to run through Monday. A busy Columbus road will soon be closed for construction. Public Information Officer Joe Dillon says the roundabout at the intersection of Military Road and Highway 82 will be closed Sunday at noon until further notice. He says closing this area is the best way to ensure safety to workers. Over the next few weeks, MDOT will work to pave and mill the road. Dillon says drivers should plan for an alternate route as they will only be allowed to make right turns near the bypass.
If you're coming down the bypass, you can take a right turn in either direction. When you get off the bypass, you just can't turn left and go back up under the bridge. We just ask people to be patient. It's going to be a beautiful project when it's done. Be newly paved, new lights, new curbs. That road's been bumpy for a long time, so it's going to be milled down to the foundation and then redone. So it'll be worth the wait.
Dillon says the project is weather dependent, but it will most likely wrap up close to the beginning of December. All right, coming up, a suspect is behind bars after a police chase ended in a 6-hour standoff. We'll have more details on that story after the break. Welcome back. A suspect is behind bars after a police chase ended in a 6-hour armed standoff in a lake in Sturgis. WCBI Stephen Pimpo has more on the scary situation that could have ended way worse.
Quiet, sweet little place like this, that nothing like that could happen, but that's wrong. It sure can.
Barbara James says she and her husband were just sitting down to dinner when their small Sturgis home became the scene of an armed standoff.
We started hearing the sirens, lots and lots of them.
The Oktibbeha County Sheriff's Office say they and 10 other agencies responded to the scene when sometime around 6 Thursday night, the pursuit of 39-year-old suspect Gary Boyles of Greenville ended with a crash after officers deployed spike strips in the path of the truck Boyles was driving. The Sheriff's Department says the suspect came speeding down Highway 12 before turning off into the Sturgis home's yard and crashing right into that pond. While she did not want her face shown on camera, Barbara was still willing to sit down with me and describe the harrowing scene she witnessed in her own backyard.
We come to the door and looked out, and it was just oodles, tons of cop cars.
Barbara says officers had lights trained on Boyles as he tried to stay afloat in the wreckage.
I think he might have been standing on the back of that trailer, and it started sinking, and the water got up to his waist.
Then Barbara says she saw Boyles brandishing a gun.
The more they tried to talk to him and lure him out, he would put that gun up under his chin, and at one point, I couldn't swear that he put it in his mouth.
Eventually, Barbara says she had to turn away.
We were afraid that he was going. I stopped looking. I was afraid he was going to shoot his head off, and I'd be sick.
Sometime around midnight, crisis negotiators from the FBI and both Starkville and Tupelo PD convinced Boyles to surrender.
He was really groaning like he was hurting bad. I don't know if he was hurt or standing in that water that long.
Boyles was taken to OCH Regional Medical Center with non-life-threatening injuries. In Sturgis, Stephen Pimpo, WCBI.
Boyles is currently in custody at the Oktibbeha County Jail awaiting arraignment. The Sheriff's Office has not released any information on the charges Boyles is facing at this time.
Quiet weather here in the United States right now, but we are watching a tropical system in the Gulf. Right after this, I'll have information on if it affects our weather and when it could be heading our way. All of that and more in your full forecast right after this. Stay with us.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Trevor Burchett.
Weather has not been too bad here in our neck of the woods for the last several days. We've had some above normal temperatures, and that is going to continue here for at least the next 7 days. Right now, as I mentioned, really no major weather to talk about. We are going to continue to feel warmer over the next several days. And again, we're watching that tropical system in the Gulf. That's Tropical Storm Ada. Maybe some showers by Wednesday and Thursday, but overall, like I said, no major weather to talk about. We do have the fall foliage starting to pop up across the area. This was from this morning in Caledonia. Beautiful view there at the chapel. The trees just starting to change. The official peak here in Columbus is next week, so we should really start to see some of those beautiful fall colors across the area in the next several days. Outside right now, the sun has officially set. There are a few clouds over downtown Columbus, but the weather is nice. Temperatures feeling pretty comfortable. We're 68 in Columbus, 70 in Aberdeen, 73 in Tupelo, 66 in Coffeyville, and 68 in Oxford. For the rest of the evening, a mix of some starry sky and clouds, maybe a sprinkle here or there. We've been watching on radar some spots of some light rain. Overall, nothing major tonight. Temperatures going to stay fairly mild, lows only in the low to mid 60s. Tomorrow, much of the same, a pretty comfortable day. In fact, actually a little warmer than we should be, close to 80 degrees in some spots. A little more sunshine than we saw today, but still some clouds hanging around. Also a little breezy at times, southeasterly winds at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Now, here's Tropical Storm Ada. It's impacting Cuba right now, 65-mile-an-hour winds. It's going to move up to the north, generally towards southern Florida, but it's going to kind of S back into the Gulf and kind of ride up the western Florida coastline. So some impacts for Florida early next week into Thursday, but we're not expecting any impacts here because of this cold front that is going to kind of keep it off to our east. So there's Ada down in the Gulf. This cold front's going to kind of push it off away from us. So we could see some sprinkles Tuesday night into Wednesday from the cold front, But in general, Eta is going to stay away from us, rain generally into Florida and southern portions of Georgia. So not much to talk about on the AccuWeather 7-day forecast, just the way we like it. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow, a mix of sunshine and clouds for Monday and Tuesday. And again, Tuesday night into Wednesday, maybe a sprinkle or two here and there. Overall, nothing major. Not everybody's going to see rain. We do dry out by the end of the week. Next weekend looking good so far. 78 for Monday and Tuesday, back into the mid-70s for the end of the week and the weekend. Overnight lows looking to stay in the low 60s. Temperatures generally above average for this time of year.
Saturday JUCO action in full swing at Mississippi Delta this afternoon. Courtney has your highlights next in sports.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
Mississippi State football back at home in Davis-Wade Stadium this afternoon for a matchup featuring the two worst teams in the Southeastern Conference. With only one conference win to the Bulldogs' overall record, MSU head coach Mike Leach and his squad desperately in need of picking up a win against Vanderbilt. Mississippi State able to take care of business inside Davis-Wade Stadium against the Commodores. Dogs get the dub 24-17. No sign of quarterback KJ Costello today. Freshman Will Rogers did get the start and the finish for MSU. Rogers able to finish the outing against Vanderbilt, totaling 35 of 46 for 195 total yards and 1 touchdown. Next up, Mississippi State will stay at home to host Auburn next weekend on November 14th. Highlights and more coming up tonight on WCBI Sports at 10. Over in the Delta, Northwest and Mississippi Delta facing off for some JUCO Saturday ball. First quarter, no score. Rangers QB Michael Ayers in trouble. Defensive back Sumitra Stewart comes up with the sack. Later in the first, Delta quarterback Jordan Gilliland throws and gets picked off by Michael Campbell. Returns it to the house for 6, called back after a flag would be thrown on the play, so no score yet. However, that following drive, the Rangers would finally strike. Former Lafayette standout running back Jamie Shaw goes right up the middle for the score. The Rangers now up 7-0. Moving into the second quarter, MDCC goes for the field goal. They would get it, so Delta trailing 7-3, and right before halftime, West Point's Latarius Embry comes up with the pass breakup, and the Rangers go on to get the win 26-9. That's it for sports. We'll have more for you when we come back right after the break.
Thank you all so much for joining us. President-elect Joe Biden will be speaking in a few moments. Have a good night.